$20 million. That is how much the state Senate approved this week for survivors of the horrific abuse that happened at the Dozier School for boys. But so many other young men did not survive after being sent to that reform school in Marianna. Fox 13's Ariel Placencia joins us live in the newsroom. Ariel, USF researchers played a huge role in uncovering decades of torture and abuse in that school. What did they have to say about this week's ruling?
Well, they called it monumental, Haley, after what's been a very long road of fighting for these survivors. This money now must be approved by the governor, so we'll keep you posted on if and when that happens. Now, there's a USF forensic anthropologist who studied this case for years, and she even wrote a book about her work and how her team discovered the graves of dozens of students who had been hidden for decades.
We had 1,400 acres to search, and so it's just a physically very big school, very big complex.
That's one of the first things that stood out to Erin Kimmerly when she started studying the Arthur G. Dozier School for Boys. Former students say the school, once the largest reform school in the country, felt more like a prison.
It was worse than hell.
Men, now in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, tell horror stories of how they survived physical and sexual abuse at the school from 1940 to 1975. But some 100 boys did not survive. Erin's mission was to give them a voice once the school finally closed in 2011.
There were a lot of families who had been asking, for the remains of their brothers and uncles back, and they wanted to know what happened.
From 2012 to 2016, the USF forensic anthropologist and her team studied the Marianna property that Erin describes as a working farm and industrial complex.
Where were the old barns that no longer exist? Where were the roads? How did people move around this space? Because when you're trying to find burials, you're essentially recreating that. Where is the likely place? Where could you drive and get access?
Through historical maps, archival research, and ground-penetrating radar, Erin's team found 55 burials. 8 were positively identified using DNA. 15 more were presumptively identified, giving closure to dozens of families.
It, was a very positive experience to be able to, help them find the answers that they have been looking for a lifetime.
More answers came Monday for those who did survive the abuse. The Florida Senate approved $20 million for survivors at Dozier and its Okeechobee counterpart.
It's been a long, hard battle, but we hung in there.
300 to 400 surviving former students could be eligible for compensation. Erin admitting the size of this case and the number of victims, once again, stands out.
I think more than anything, it's really that acknowledgement that this happened to them. And so I'm very happy for them.
In 2017, lawmakers provided $1.2 million to cover the costs of reburials and memorials for Dozier School victims. But Haley, to this day, the remains of dozens of former students still have never been located.
It is just a terrible shame that they cannot be here for this monumental moment. But at least it brings some justice for them and all of the survivors. All right, Ariel, thank you.